appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning into the pod. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I rock with that, and I appreciate that. One love. Let's get into the video. Who can dethrone the champs? It's really simple. OKC, still first place in the Western Conference. Still got their same team from last year. They actually improved, their roster from last year. Listen, man, whoever okayed that Jared McCain trade from the Philadelphia 76ers, man, they should receive a huge bonus. Why I say that is because at the end of the day, that helped OKC a lot, big time, and they basically got Jared McCain for nothing. But again, too, that's for another pod and for another segment. Now, in this segment, who can dethrone the champs? Realistically, guys, I want you to really take a step back and look at the scene. Look at the scene. Look at what's going on. There's only 3 teams. Yes, 3 teams that can beat the OKC Thunder in a 7-game series. I'm not saying they're going to, but if you're looking at roster, particular trends throughout the regular season, you guys, there's only 3 teams. The first team comes from the Western Conference, and that's the Denver Nuggets. They're currently on an 11-game winning streak. They've been playing really well since Aaron Gordon has returned back to the lineup, and they got old reliable. They got old faithful. The combination of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic is still dominant. They're still the best tandem in the NBA. That definitely could be up for debate, but they're still one of the top 3 best tandems in the NBA. It's not even anything to think about, guys. The Denver Nuggets are capable of beating OKC in the 7-game series. They took OKC last year to 7 games. They improved their roster as well. With Bruce Brown returning, Tim Hardaway Jr., and the key player to all of this right now is Cam Johnson. If Cam Johnson returns to, the Cam Johnson old of last year, the Denver Nuggets can definitely return back to the NBA Finals. But he's been struggling this year. New teammates, new environment, new city. It's warranted. But again, too, if Cam Johnson can return back to the old Cam Johnson, the sky's the limit for the Denver Nuggets. The second team that can beat the OKC Thunder possibly is the Boston Celtics. And this is why I say that. Obviously, when you return a top 10 player in Jason Tatum, that can help your roster a whole lot. Jason Tatum has played well since returning. His game looks basically the same. A lot of pundits are saying that his game actually looks a lot better, a lot smoother. I don't know if that's even possible because, JT, his game is just overall nice, right? But he's been playing well. And you know what? And one thing that I've noticed with JT since his return is that he's been stepping up on the defensive end. He's been showing his coaches and the Celtics organization that he's not just a one-trick pony. It's not just all about offense, that he can play some defense as well. And I just think that, with the history with Derek White and definitely the history with Jaylen Brown, the Celtics are a clear-cut favorite in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion. And I just think that the Celtics now, and with the midseason acquisition of getting Vucevic, which is a stretch 4, which you're going to need, especially against OKC now, because at the end of the day, you have to draw Chet Holmgren away from the basket. You have to draw Hartenstein away from the basket. And it's not only because those guys are good paint defenders, they're also great rebounders as well. So you want to keep those guys as far away from the basket as possible. So I have this Boston Celtics as my number 2 team, right, that could possibly dethrone the champs. Last but certainly not least is the upstart San Antonio Spurs. Yes, Pop Spurs. Yes, the legacy NBA franchise. I think the San Antonio Spurs have been playing the most consistent basketball all year out of any team in the NBA, even more consistent than OKC, even though OKC does have the number 1 seed currently. San Antonio definitely has the best defender in the NBA in Wembanyama. But I think the combination of Wemby staying healthy and De'Aaron Fox at the point That's tough to beat. That is really, really tough to beat. And they've shown, obviously, with their bench depth, that, listen, we're going to go out and guard and we're going to defend. And at the end of the day, listen, do you have more defenders than us? They have a very deep bench, and San Antonio has played well throughout the entire season, right? So I think that the San Antonio Spurs, and if you look at the San Antonio Spurs, they've beat OKC, I want to say 2 or 3 times in the regular season as well. So the numbers are there. The eye test is there. San Antonio, it's just going to come down to playoff experience. Does San Antonio have enough playoff experience now to get over the hump and to get over those difficult spots in the game? So the only 3 teams that I see that can dethrone the OKC Thunder are the Denver Nuggets, the Boston Celtics, and the San Antonio Spurs. But you know what? Hit us up in the chat. Tell me what you think. You might have a dark horse team. You might say the Rockets, even though I think they're pretenders. Some people might come with the Lakers, even though, Doncic has been who knows where for the last couple of weeks now. So are you expecting a lot from a 45-year-old LeBron James in the playoffs? I don't know. But you know what? Hit us up in the chat. Let us know what you think. Peace.